All right, so welcome everyone. I hope everyone can hear me. I hope everyone can hear me loud and clear. Another Omchain Talks, and today we have FIO Protocol as our guest. We'll be
Hi, everyone.
exploring. Yeah, hi, Alien. Welcome.
Thank you for
Is it
having
okay
us.
if I call you Alien, or should I, like,
No, you
refer
can
you
call
with
me
your
Adil,
name?
but whatever you prefer. Like when we're all like young in the blockchain space, we all had like some nicknames. Privacy was important back then. So mine was like known as the Alien. I don't even remember why. So like in all platforms that came later, just like went from that name. And now every time I'm in a call and I know people and they tell me, Adil, people say that's the Alien. You know him, and it's so funny. It's funny how nicknames take life of their own.
Yep. So should I call you Alien? Should I call you Adil? How should I
Call me
refer you?
Adil.
Adil. All right, Adil. Welcome to the episode. I don't know number of the Omchain Talks. Today
Thank
we'll
you for
be
having us.
talking. Yeah, today we'll be talking about the Web3 domains. I mean, most people are probably familiar. People listening right now, people who will be listening the record on the YouTube. But I have a few specific questions about the actual, public addresses that we do, sending cryptos. So, if you're okay, let's just get it started and learn more about the FIO protocol and the existing, existing structure of the Web3 domains.
Okay, perfect. So everybody is familiar with the ENS, and also with the unstoppable domains, but which are great, but they only like serve in like Ethereum and Polygon and Ethereum-based networks. In FIO, we believe in interoperability. It's like FIO is the foundation of interoperability, and because like there's a lot of development in the Cosmos chain, for example, in Avalanche, in Polkadot, in EOS, and all these communities also they need domains because domains like the Web3 identity. And I think this is what differentiates us mostly from ENS and the other providers is that we are blockchain agnostic and wallet agnostic. And also we're permissionless, so people can use our domains like without even or integrate FIO without even talking with us. Like the developer hub is of course like we rather like help and assist, but like it's everything available. And for example, our domains also allows you like to map your cryptocurrency. So suppose Osman, if you have let's say I want to send you Bitcoin, you have to give me like the long address. I need to send you Ethereum, you have to give me the again the long sequence like 0x. But with the FIO domains, you choose one domain and then you map all your wallets in it with like one touch. And then, for example, hey, send me some Solana. I just like send you, for example, like to your domain, Solana. I don't need to ask you about any addresses. So it's like PayPal in a way. So on one hand, it's interoperable, and on the other hand, is also like it solves problems, which is like making products easier to use. We have like more functionalities that are very cool, like NFT signatures, but I don't want to like monopolize the whole speech.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
also like,
perfectly fine because it's really interesting. Like similar to the internet that we're using right now. I mean, like if they're not crazy, no one memorized the IP addresses of the servers or the services, right? You don't type some numbers to open Twitter or Google or any other server provider. Whereas if you look at the crypto space right now, when you are sending funds or anyone is sending any funds to anyone, especially with the large amounts like $1 million transactions and so on, what you do is that you use those weird numbers and letters and all sorts of confusing things. For the EVM based networks, they start with 0x. In Tron network, they start with T. In Bitcoin, there are many different wallet structures. They could be starting with 1, 3, B. It depends on the version of the protocol. And in Solana, as you have mentioned, it's completely different as well. So the main problem there, I think, is that they evolved from the actual, private keys and the public keys because those things are more or less random strings or like random bits of information that is transferred to, hash strings or some strings so that we can understand, we can read, because I'm not going to be able to read ones and zeros. So just to have it easy for end users to be able to understand and use those wallet addresses, we have transferred ones and zeros to some strings. But again, if you ask me, if we just use those strings, it's very complicated because in the past, I remember even there was a malware which detected that in your PC you copied some wallet address. So imagine that I'm transferring funds between different wallets, and I copy the wallet address of my friend's wallet from some instant message application on my PC, or I just log into some exchange and copy the deposit, and then that malware detects that I have copied a cryptocurrency address, replaces it with the hacker's wallet address. So when I paste it to my wallet while sending, it's actually not the address that I have copied, but actually the hacker's address. So it was already causing a lot of problems space, and it's again very hard to memorize. Imagine my Twitter handle being something very complex, and you not being able to find me, or you not being able to space or joining it. So I think that's very important to understand. Very important to understand the actual problem, and why are we looking for name service providers in the crypto space. For the internet, it was, again, as I have said, it was just some IP addresses, numbers, and we have switched to existing domain names that we are all aware of right now. And for the crypto, I am seeing that as the one of the key steps for larger one of the key steps for mass adoption. So, could you tell us more about the existing problems in the crypto space? I mean, this could be this could be for the existing addresses, or this could be ENS specific, because as you have also mentioned, like ENS does not work on other blockchains. It's not interoperable. Could you please tell us more about existing problems in the market?
Yes, of course. So first of all, I just want to commend you. Like it's exactly like you nailed it, and it's funny because our founders they said this is the reason actually why they thought to like create FIO is exactly like what you said. They said that before nobody could remember like the IP address, but it's so much better to have something like human readable and go to Amazon.com, go to eBay.com. So like it's exactly it. There was yeah, and now about other problems. So you know that we have now like a lot of big companies are moving to the NFT space, on the metaverse space, like Adidas, Louis Vuitton. Like we have like for example, there's like concerts being done in the metaverse. Like a few months ago, there was this massive concert here in Latin America. I'm out in Brazil, by the way, called Rock in Rio. So there was like 700,000 people, and they wanted to give the NFTs as entrance. So like for example, like your NFT is your entrance to the ticket. But where's the problem? Is that anybody can copy that NFT and enter, which renders like the use of these products like useless. In FIA, we have something called NFT signature. So with your domain, like basically you sign that domain, that ticket is assigned to you. And we have a verification system. So for example, if people enter, you know if the NFT is legit or not legit. Also, for example, celebrities can sign their own NFTs. Let's say, for example, I don't know, Justin Bieber wants to sign like special ticket or like something to a fan. So they sign it with one button, like in the dashboard, you just click on your domain, NFT signature, and you link it, and boom. So it's like super easy, but this is a problem that happens because, like for example, OpenSea said that 80% of their NFTs are fake volumes. Like NFT copies are like really a problem in the space. But if you want to like really we want the NFT world, the world to use NFTs. Like for example, if you want like products to be sold as digital products, we must deal with the NFT forgeries. So another problem in the space that we solve it's NFT forgeries basically.
I just want to add one thing here. It's very important to understand how big a problem is this, because people who are not crypto natives, people who haven't been in the space for many years, like us, people usually thinks that NFTs are things that you cannot copy. Even on the previous episodes of Omchain Devlog, on one of our YouTube live streams, we have cloned a Bored Ape NFT, and it looks literally like the original one if you import it to your MetaMask or any other wallet that you have. And the main problem is that once people purchase an NFT, they assume that it's not gonna be faked. It's something that cannot be copied. I mean, people were making memes and jokes and everything about just right clicking and saving the JPEG and so on, but no one even mentioned that you can literally copy the base URI of the NFT, deploy another smart contract, and have it, other smart contract, work exactly like the one you have, exactly like the original one. So I think when from coming from the technical background, when you know that it is possible to forge NFTs, it is possible to clone them, it's possible to fake them. What you're solving becomes even more important, I think. What would you say about that?
Oh, I agree fully. I agree fully, and like you again, like you nailed it exactly 100% because we all been told that like NFTs are non-fungible token. There's like no way you can clone an NFT. I actually saw like in your Facebook when you were talking about like cloning NFTs. And especially like, for example, as you said, like the board club member, like everybody now is saying NFTs should be like your identity, right? So that's like your identity. So if people can clone it or can copy it so easily, so that creates like a massive market for identity theft. So the blockchain space as a whole cannot grow until we solve this problem of NFT. And also, for example, we're doing like a campaign with like a Learniverse, which is like a blockchain education platform. They have like 2 million users. So these guys, for example, they want to create a gamification thing, like for example, Duolingo. I don't know if you guys know, like language thing. So, for example, after certain classes, you get this diploma, so you become like a master, for example, of for example, blockchain development or like coding in Rust or like a few things. So these NFTs become as your identity. It's like for example, like your CV. But if everybody can clone them or copy them, that means that is useless. So if we want actually to bring usability to the blockchain, I agree completely. We should solve the NFT forgery. It's a really existing
Uh,
problem as we speak.
again, I mean, like, uh, right now with humans, I mean, we know that there might be some people who are using fake identities, or there might be people who are using, fake currencies, fake, dollar bills. We know that it's a threat. For that reason, in the grocery stores, when you go, if you're giving them, large amount of bills, then usually what they're doing is like they're checking whether the bill is, genuine or not. Or if you're using your ID, they look at your ID under the UV light and so on, because people know that those things could be some things that could be faked. Whereas, again, as both me and you have mentioned, in NFTs, when people assume that they cannot be faked, they cannot be cloned, there are no, security measures. There are no such precautions. Imagine that, just like you have said, some company issues NFT ticket, and they literally think that those tickets cannot be cloned, those tickets could not be faked. The company who is doing that, because the service that they have taken, the company who provided them that service, also most probably thinks that they can't be faked. So once some technologically advanced company or business or person clone those NFTs, they get free entrance to the space. So it's really, I think, important for us to talk about that. NFTs are things that can be cloned, NFTs are things that could be forged, NFTs are things that could be faked. So we need a system that authenticates the NFTs. We need a system that says that this is a genuine NFT that was minted by that person, or issued by that company, or created by that artist. And as you have just said, it's signed by that person. So when I look at it, I know that, okay, it's the work of the artist, that I like it, but it's signed, or it's created by that. uh you know Without knowing that, I can right now clone Bored Ape NFTs, put them all in my wallet, and start sending message to some random influencers, and tell them that, hey, I have this. I can even record the video of my cryptocurrency wallet and say like, hey, they're here. And if they actually look at it on the OpenSea or any other marketplace, they will see that it's in my wallet. So they could be faked. So it's really important to know that they could be faked, and it's really important to have things like we have as precautions. That's why it's really important that FIO is coming up with a solution to that.
Yeah, well, these are the two things we always like focus on: solving problems in the space and making products easier to use. Because if you want, like, let's face it, always in life, like the key to like development is making things like easier to use. Like the light bulb is better than candles. Like whoever created, like, I don't know, like toilets deserve like a Nobel Prize. So like the credit cards, paying online service payments. So if you want the space to grow, we need A, to solve problems like for example like NFT thefts, and B, making products like easier to use. Like for example, your domain, you can transact all your currencies to like wherever you want, and also like you don't have to use a, for example, a wallet that like uses Binance. Let's use FIO. Like for example, Binance does not use FIO handles, but you can map your Binance wallets to the dashboard. For example, integrated in Ledger as well. So if you want like your uh, security, like you want to have like cold storage, and you have, for example, some money in Binance only for like to trade or like something like that. So just like map your Binance account, even though we're not integrated with them, to your wallet, and then anytime somebody like sends you money, you just give them the handle. So there's like a lot of, I think that makes the product easier, even though you're not using, even though like FIO is integrated, doesn't mean like there's no uses for that.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I mean, there's still a lot more problems in the crypto space that we should be solving. But again, starting from the domains and at least telling people that, hey, you don't have to memorize those 0x different weird letters. Just get yourself a handle, and then things gonna be easier. Could you please tell us more about your solutions? Like, what products or solutions or services do you exactly offer? So we have, for one thing, that you have at interoperable domain resolution on the blockchain, and another thing that is with the NFT signing. So, are there any other services, or
Yeah.
are those the only two
Yes.
things?
No, we have some others. Like for example, FIO request. So imagine like you're a store, and then you're selling products. So you want people to pay you. You can like request it. So this is like something we did. Like we have here, like in the south of Brazil, some venues like restaurants and bars that they accept, FIO protocol. So for example, like you want to pay for this thing, and it costs 10. So the place just like requests like payments from you. Like I request from Osman, for example, at Omchain. You just like type the thing, request, and you, the client, you can swap right, meaning yes, you accept the payment or don't accept the payment. There's also QR code, which is like very easy, but QR code like everybody uses anyways. But the request makes it like super easy for the client. They don't have like to type anything. They don't have like to fill. All they have to do, they receive payment request, and then they accept it or not, which is like always the in sales, the easier we make it for the client, the better. So this, for example, use case is better than the one we have like in fiat, because we make it like easier than the existing system. So yeah, let me know what you
Yeah,
think
yeah.
about
So
that.
it's basically kind of like saying, "Hey, dude, just you have been eating in my restaurant, or you have bought some things from my store. Here is the request. Just please pay me." Because often I have seen some real life implementations of cryptocurrency payments, and it's usually not good because once you have asked, "Hey, can I pay with crypto?" I mean, like, I am based in Turkey right now. It's not legal to make crypto payments, so I'm not talking from the experiences in Turkey, but in other countries as well. You would see that, hey, Bitcoin accepted here, or cryptocurrency payment accepted here, and then you would ask them like, hey, I want to pay with crypto, and then they try to pull out their, which is usually kind of like their hot wallet, and then show you the QR. So once you're making payment, it's actually, how do I say, another risk that you're exposing your mobile wallet and device to the someone could just grab the phone and run away, and then transfer all the funds that is deposited in that wallet at that restaurant or business. But again, on the other hand, the solution that you're providing, it's basically just like, hey, give me your PO handle, and then you just send them the request, and then all they have to do is, I'm assuming, approve, and then the payment is done.
Yeah, exactly. And it could be tracked in the block explorer like immediately. And also it works like if we don't have yet merchants, like they sell online, like imagine Amazon, like big merchants sells that. Like you just like receive automatically a payment, and for the client, they just like swipe yes or no, like with the price. So there's no risk of stealing the phone. Yes, it exists 100% like with the one person to one person, but it's a security threat. But also, like for example, if you send a request and somebody's in the restaurant, they could be sitting in their table, and then you send them a request. Or like, for example, like your brother is in another place and the phone is not even in the restaurant, and just like text him, hey, send this request to this address.
Yep, that's really awesome. That's the thing. You don't have to expose anything to anyone. It's just like, hey, just send a request. Awesome. So let's say I want to get started with FIO domains. What would I do as the end user? Let's say right now I want to grab one domain from your protocol or product. What are the steps that I should be taking? Could you please tell us more about how does one get involved with FIO?
Yes, of course. Thank you also for asking me. So there are two ways. One of them is through our dashboard, our own websites, which we will share in a second, and tell you about more about that in a second, which is the one that has the most functionalities, and it has all the functionalities, and on the same time as well, we have like a 50% referral code. Basically, like you give your referral code, anybody that signs up through your link gets a 50% of every domain. I'll get into that in a second. But the other way is like if you go to our ecosystem, you're gonna see that like we are integrated in a lot of exchanges, wallets. So imagine you have like Edge Wallet, for example. So you just go to Edge Wallet, you click on Field domains, and you get one, like super easy. You have, for example, Guarda Wallet, you click on that, and super easy. Now, If you want like more functionalities, and as I said, like 50% referral link for any domains, you just go to the dashboard.FIO So it's going to ask you to create like an email and a password, like any other sign up. So once you create that, and also they ask you to two questions for security in case you forget the password. So you sign up very quickly, and then you have like an email for recovery. Okay, now you have your account in there. So you go and you have like the free domains and free handles, which is like, for example, you can choose like it's limited. Like for example, let's say Osman at Moon, or like Osman at Pocket, Osman at Wallet. Now, if you want to have like a custom one, which is like more important to have like a custom domain, these are rare because each domain there's only one. Like for example, if somebody has Snoop Dogg cannot get his own domain. So this is what's important. So if you do that, you just like click get my domain, and then you can credit card as well. You can pay via FIO. So now you have your domain. It's very quickly like create email, create account, email, password. Once you're in, you just click on choosing the custom domain or not. Now that you have your domain, you click on it, and you have like this line. So this line has one thing called NFT signatures, which is where you can link sign your NFTs. It's super easy, like self-explanatory. And also, for example, to map your Bitcoin, Ethereum, wherever, it's called link. So you click on the button link, and then it shows you which chain. For example, choose Bitcoin, or like for example, you choose USDT, which network, so like which address. It's like super easy for the user to make. So like this domain gives you like so many usabilities, like right off the bat. And again, as I said, like the domains are much more valuable because now we have something, we wrap them in Polygon. So our domains are sold like in OpenSea. So for example, imagine somebody buys like at Amazon, and then he can sell it in OpenSea for wherever money like he wants. So this is like a demand driver. And also for the users, if they like it and they want their friends to use it, they use a referral link. So like if their friend like buys the domain, they get like half of that money.
That's really cool because like right now I am also exploring the FIO dashboard, and I can say that I am almost, done with getting my email. It took me roughly 60 seconds to create my account and verify all those information. The first wallet that I am getting is, I'm assuming right now, it Osman at Moon. So I like Moon. That's the reason why I got that one. But it's really important to understand that the domains that you purchase could be later sold to, because initially when the domain names were like first coming out in the actual internet space, people were buying domains not to use them necessarily, but to flip it, because you never know which domain name would be valuable. Right now, I think it costs a lot of money to buy single, double, triple digit, triple letter domains. So I think I got my domain. Yeah, it's confirmed. I think I have it, and I even have my FIO wallet, everything, my handles. So that's really great to have a product that it's really easy to use. I mean, I didn't have to integrate my cryptocurrency wallet. I didn't have to, do all sorts of weird things or memorize some 12 letter security things. All I had done was just like, get the domain, select the domain that I have, add to cart, and then create an account, and then just verify the email, and that's it. I have my, FIO crypto handles. So I'm assuming from here, all I have to do is just like, manage handles. If I want to do NFT signatures, request fund, do the linking, or just go back and then add more wallet addresses, so I can do like different wallet addresses as well. It's really great to see that, just like as you were talking, I was experimenting the product. So it's really good that it's not something like, hey, in the future we're gonna do this, we're gonna bring that, we're gonna do that. It's like this exists right now, this that you can use right now. So thanks a lot for building something that's really easy to use.
Well, I didn't build anything like like our great developers did. Like one of them is Adam, who's here with us in the call. But yeah, like as you said, like for example, like if you want to map like your Bitcoin address, you have like some Bitcoin, let's say in Ledger Nano, or you have it in, for example, Blockstream Green, Blockstream Jade, like wherever you want. So you can just like map that, and despite it being like in so much security, you can still use our FIO domains because of that. And we never interact with the other chain. We're a layer on top of all chains. We're like a blockchain agnostic, so it works with everything. So basically, if you want to track your conversation, for example, you can use it easily. Like, hey, I received some money at Osman that Moon. But if you want to track the transaction, if it's Bitcoin, you go, for example, to blockchain.com. If it's Ethereum, you go like to Etherscan. So like if it's Cosmos, like if it's Atoms, you go to the Cosmos Block Explorer. So we never interact with those chains. The transaction still follows like its path. We just make it like easier for the user. We just like simplify it. And another use, for example, talking about this, there is like, for example, some YouTubers that they use Excel sheets for the followers. So each week they have a video and they say to their followers, hey, put your, for example, this week they were talking about Avalanche. Put your Avalanche address in this link. Put Avalanche. So everybody in the Excel put in their Avalanche, addresses. And then one winner gets like hundreds of Avalanche. Next week, they do the same thing with Polkadot. So put their Dots wallet in there. So it's like a lot of work. So if these guys had, for example, like FIO wallets, like for example, that YouTuber is called CryptoCito. So like he has like his name, like for example, Josh at CryptoCito, and all his users we're gonna have like, for example, Mike at CryptoCito, Emily at CryptoCito. So like if you have like a domain, you can actually sell handles or like give them for free. You can set it at public. People can choose their domains as well, their handles, and you create a community. So for example, in Omchain, you can have like, for example, Ilhan at Omchain, Ahmed at
I Yeah, I
Omchain.
think I
You
think
know,
these people, I mean, the community members of Omchain already demand that, because I also do most of the development in the Omchain project. They were consistently asking us to implement a domain name service on the Omchain blockchain, because we are also developing a cryptocurrency wallet that is going to be supporting different chains, a non-custodian one with some added new features such as security vaults and so on. I don't want to go into too many technical details here, but they were asking like, hey, could you please implement something? So rather than doing that, our main motivation or vision here is that, hey, let's just collaborate, because hey, there is already a product that exists in the market, and we can maybe collaborate, we can maybe implement their protocol, and we can maybe provide easier solutions to the end users. So that's why, like, if you mention Ilhan or Ahmed at OMC or Omchain, they are onboarded right now, not even right now, from yesterday. So they have been waiting that future for a long time.
oh, this is amazing. Yeah, like definitely. Like if you want, like we can talk like outside of the spaces, and we'll help you integrate anything you want. Let's do it. Like we like collaboration, and this is what we're here for. Like we're trying to make blockchain more accessible, like to everybody. And you guys are like solving problems. Like I like, for example, like EVMs. I think that virtual machines are very important because we have to build the bridges in order like to grow together.
Yep.
But
And
yeah,
one thing I want to add here is that even though we are also another EVM chain, we have no problem with talking people who are building things on different blockchains. Like we could have someone from Polygon, we could have someone from Solana here, because our vision is that, hey guys, we understand that you're building some public database that is using blockchain technology, and you're providing DeFi products and other solutions to the end user. We have no problem with that. It's awesome. It's the adoption. But our main motivation here is that we know that with the businesses adopting the blockchain technology, we will see the actual growth. Because if you again think about it, there are most probably more houses owned by companies, more cars owned by companies, or more computers owned by companies than actual individuals. So we believe that, especially for the infrastructure, like, I don't use any email service for my personal things. I don't use any VPS. I don't use any hosting for my websites or anything. But my company does. But the home chain does. But all the other businesses that we know, they do own those things. So if it's gonna be something at the end, it's not gonna be like, hey, most of the people who are here are the end users and individuals. But no, it's gonna be like companies, transferring perhaps documents with the NFT signature feature that you have. It's not gonna be just like individuals trying to adapt, but we believe that businesses will be adapting in the future as well. So that's why we're like, hey, we are here for the business needs, because we don't have any problems regarding the consensus mechanism. We don't have any problem regarding the scalability, but we also have individual token holders or users. So why not just collaborate with other blockchains, other people, provide them bridges, provide them interoperable solutions, so the companies or people who are working for those companies could also have some assets on our blockchain, but then bridge them to another blockchain and do the transactions on the other blockchain as well. So that's our vision. It's like anything that we're building right now, because the space is so tiny, so little compared to other fields in the world, compared to healthcare, finance, education fields, or AI. The blockchain field is still small, and it has a lot of potential to grow. So that's why we're like, whoever you are, just come to us. Just come and let's just collaborate and build some things that are crazy for everyone. Build things that are going to be utilized by everyone, and build things that are creating an impact in the world for everyone. So that's our vision, and that's why it would be awesome to collaborate with you guys and implement OMC handles or additional features on the Omchain blockchain.
Absolutely, it's like it will be like our pleasure, and I agree like totally what you just said. Like we have to provide solutions like for everybody, and just like as you said that like sometimes like documents will be sent via the blockchain. I think 100% there could be even NFTs or like smart contracts signed in the chain, and that will be your signature, and move on. And the same thing with the, for example, like if somebody has, I'm pretty sure that like this is why all these chains are being built in bridges. Like I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but like EOS, Antelope, they forked into Antelope, and Cosmos are actually building a bridge that allows that like all the AOS ecosystem and all the Cosmos ecosystem to be like interoperable. It's called the IBC bridge. There's even Telegram group about that. And basically all of these companies, all of these blockchain, they believe that like everything will be interoperable, but also there will be like some blockchains specialized in certain things. So like you need like a service, and you don't have to be on that blockchain to use the service. You could be using, for example, one of the one of the parachains of Polkadot, for example, and you need a service from Cosmos, so you can do that, or like from Ethereum, so like you use EVM. So I think just like the internet, like it will become like fully interoperable. So why not like start working for that future right now?
Yeah, exactly. In the future, I am imagining just like we have the browsers, and then on the browser you just type some domain name, and then it takes you to whichever service provider. So you come here to Twitter just to listen to this space or give a speech, but you go to Gmail to send some emails. You go to some news website to learn more about the recent news in your country or the world. So you go to different service providers for different needs, and when it's needed you make different accounts on those platforms. So I also don't believe that it's just going to be like, hey, one chain, I am the winner, guys, because there is no such scalable solution out there. Also, there is no how do I say, dedicated team who can build all those solutions. Just like the internet, just like the real life, we have many different services, we have many different products. All of them are being developed by many different people, many different teams. So what we do is just like, hey, I like to be on Twitter, then we go there. Hey, I'd like to be on LinkedIn, we go there. Hey, I want to be a Telegram user, we go there. So I think it's gonna be more or less like that for the blockchain ecosystem as well. So that's why it's really important to understand the importance of Web3 domains as well. Once it's that big, it's gonna be able to remember or memorize those handles, and then you'd need some tool that enables to manage those wallet addresses and that infrastructure commission. So that's really how do I say, great that you guys are building a interoperable domain solution on the blockchain.
Yeah, you guys as well. Like, this is why I'm happy about this. And you're right. Like, imagine like you need a domain. Like, for example, let's just say social media. Social media. There is like Hive on the Hive blockchain, which is like was to be like Steam. There's Desmos in Cosmos. There's for example, Minds.com. I think they're the Ethereum network. There's like so many. There's Apix in Juno. I mean in Telos. There's a Loop in Juno, like out of Cosmos. There's so many social media accounts. So, for example, instead of having like, for example, if you want to use the one in Juno, you have to download the like the Kepler network. If you want to use, for example, Minds, you have to download like MetaMask. It becomes like so much, and add to that all the other functionalities. Let's say, for example, NFTs or like metaverse games, or so perhaps one solution like one domain that is interoperable like removes like so much hassle, and also like so it makes it like easier for people to get inside to get into the blockchain. Because like right now I have like so many papers of 12 words for my seed phrases for account. I'm just like testing. So like making onboarding easier, it starts with the domain names. And for that, like in my opinion, and I'm biased because FIO, but I really think that interoperability is very important in Web3 domains.
Yep, exactly. Very well said. So before we end the space, I am seeing that we are already at the 40-minute threshold. We don't want to make them too long so that people get bored. But I mean,
Of
like
course.
speaking, I had a lot of fun. I hope you also had a lot of fun. Um, One last thing I want to ask: what are the next steps for the FIO protocol? Are there any, new features coming soon? What should the community members who are listening to this space right now, or probably later on YouTube, should be expecting from the FIO protocol? Could you give us any hints, any information
Yes,
about the roadmap?
I'll give hints. I'll give all, and I had fun. I'll give you like some hints. And so right now we just announced, as I said, like the referral program, 50% for everything, and it's the wrapping on Polygon. Like our domains to be sold in OpenSea. This is something that's gonna come out very very soon. Like we're already like testing, and this will allow everybody to buy a domain for like so cheap, and then sell it for like a higher price. And what I'm gonna tease is just like ENS, we're gonna have some domains that are exclusive, like VIP domains, like reduced character domains or reduced letter domains. So these are what we're working on right now. As in a new feature, we're working on a feature called gamer tags. I can't give so much more details about this right now, but like we can talk about that in another call when we have like worked on that more. But the features that we will announce very soon are is domains on OpenSea.
Awesome. That's really great to hear. So, people who are listening right now, or the replay from the YouTube, if you haven't registered your FIO handles, please go do it right now. It's super easy. It took me like at most 2 minutes to complete all the steps and even navigate on the dashboard. It's really super easy to use product, and if you register your handles today, tomorrow they might be valued a lot more than today. Awesome. Thanks a lot, Adil, for joining us today. I really had a lot of fun, learning more about what FIO is building, because initially I was just thinking, hey, this is only building, domain resolving services in an interoperable way. But it was really for me to today learn that you're also building things other than that, NFT signatures, as well as, requesting funds, and now making them, being able to be built on the OpenSea platform and gamer tags. It was really awesome. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, let's talk more in the Telegram channel whenever, like if we add some of our engineers. So if you need help with integration, anything, we can get that sorted out. I had a lot of fun, and I'm going to send a big hug to the entire on-chain community.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Adil, for joining. Thanks a lot, everyone, for
Thank you.
tuning in. See ya. Take care.
Bye. Cosmos. There's, for example, Minds.com. I think they're the Ethereum network. There's like so many. There's Apex in Juno. I mean, in Telos. There is a Loop in Juno, like out of Cosmos. There's so many social media accounts. So, for example, instead of having, like, for example, if you want to use the one in Juno, you have to download the, like the Kepler network. If you want to use, for example, Minds, you have to download, like MetaMask. It becomes like so much, and add to that all the other functionalities. Let's say, for example, NFTs or like metaverse games, or so perhaps one solution, like one domain that is interoperable, like removes like so much hassle, and also like it makes it like easier for people to get into the blockchain. Because like right now, I have like so many papers of 12 words for my seed phrases for account. I'm just like testing. So, like making onboarding easier, it starts with the domain names, and for that, like in my opinion, and I'm biased because FIO, but I really think that interoperability is very important in Web3 domains.
Yep, exactly. Very well said. So before we end the space, I am seeing that we are already at the 40-minute threshold. We don't want to make them too long so that people get bored. But I mean,
Of
like
course.
speaking, I had a lot of fun. I hope you also had a lot of fun. Um, One last thing I want to ask: what are the next steps for the FIO protocol? Are there any, new features coming soon? What should the community members who are listening to this space right now, or probably later on YouTube, should be expecting from the FIO protocol? Could you give us any hints, any information
Yes,
about the roadmap?
I'll give hints. I'll give all, and I had fun. I'll give you like some hints. And so right now we just announced, as I said, like the referral program, 50% for everything, and it's the wrapping on Polygon. Like our domains to be sold in OpenSea. This is something that's gonna come out very very soon. Like we're already like testing, and this will allow everybody to buy a domain for like so cheap, and then sell it for like a higher price. And what I'm gonna tease is just like ENS, we're gonna have some domains that are exclusive, like VIP domains, like reduced character domains or reduced letter domains. So these are what we're working on right now. As in a new feature, we're working on a feature called gamer tags. I can't give so much more details about this right now, but like we can talk about that in another call when we have like worked on that more. But the features that we will announce very soon are is domains on OpenSea.
Awesome. That's really great to hear. So, people who are listening right now, or the replay from the YouTube, if you haven't registered your FIO handles, please go do it right now. It's super easy. It took me like at most 2 minutes to complete all the steps and even navigate on the dashboard. It's really super easy to use product, and if you register your handles today, tomorrow they might be valued a lot more than today. Awesome. Thanks a lot, Adil, for joining us today. I really had a lot of fun, learning more about what FIO is building, because initially I was just thinking, hey, this is only building, domain resolving services in an interoperable way. But it was really for me to today learn that you're also building things other than that, NFT signatures, as well as, requesting funds, and now making them, being able to be built on the OpenSea platform and gamer tags. It was really awesome. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, let's talk more in the Telegram channel whenever, like if we add some of our engineers. So if you need help with integration, anything, we can get that sorted out. I had a lot of fun, and I'm going to send a big hug to the entire on-chain community.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Adil, for joining us. Thanks a lot, everyone, for
Thank you.
tuning in. See ya. Take care.
Bye.